Well, my name is Barata L, and on July 1st, 1991, 1 minute after midnight, I became a vegan. 13 years prior to that, I was a pescatarian. Of course, they didn't have that name back then. So I limited my meat eating, if you will, to the sea animals. And I can remember that date also. That was February 28th, 1978. I was a student at Rowan University, then it was called Glassville State College here in New Jersey. I became a vegan primarily because I wanted to make an impact on the message of respecting all living things. Part of my journey of becoming a vegan, I read a book back in college, although I didn't become a vegan then, but back in college, I read a book written by Dick Gregory, who was a famous activist and a fruitarian. And he listed a number of different dietary approaches to social reform, and veganism was one of them. So in 1980, I had a girlfriend who lived in Malaga, New Jersey, and she happened to ask me, "Hey, what are you reading?" I said, "I'm reading this book by Dick Gregory. They mentioned this vegan thing." She said, "Would you like to meet some real vegans?" I said, "Sure." So that's what brought me here to the American Vegan Society. Actually, she only lived a mile away from there. But of course, I wouldn't become a vegan until some 11 years later.
Oh, okay. Wow, wow. And so some 11 years later, what galvanized you to go vegan then?
Well, it was a consciousness that developed inside of me. Something deep down inside of me stirred up a compassionate spirit. And I started to look at the way we use animals quite differently than what I had been accustomed to being taught, being programmed, if you will. And it was just the way I felt. I just couldn't do it anymore. Yes.
It was just a feeling.
It was a feeling. I just felt, I can't do this. We really need to be compassionate to the animals.
Yeah, did you see anything like specific, or were you just looking at the food thinking this stuff?
I was looking at the fact that we're eating dead carcasses. There was a moment in Jamaica, I should mention that, because I got married in '88, and I was on the island of Jamaica. In the town they grill. And I ordered a bottle of wine and I ordered some fish. They served the fish with the eyeball still embedded, the head, the eyeball and everything. And that really had an emotional impact on me. It was as if the fish was looking sideways at me from the plate. That triggered an emotional response also. So there was a number of things. I had seen some documentaries about animal suffering and so forth.
Eventually it got to a point to where on that specific day and time, you were like, I'm doing this 100%. You gave up meat, eggs, and dairy, both? All of this?
All at once.
Wow,
Yes.
wow. Now, did you notice any physiological, mental, or emotional changes after going vegan?
I had always been filled with mucus all my life. 6 months after becoming a vegan, it seemed like I could breathe for the first time.
Now, were you eating super healthy at that point, or were you kind of just a junk food vegan at that point, or what?
Yeah, it was junk food. I tell you, I used to eat a lot of cheese hoagies. And of course, what I didn't know is that's not even vegetarian, because of the way the rennet is produced by taking the inside lining of a calf and mixing it into the milk to create bacteria in the process of making cheese. It's little wonder now when I look back that this is probably why I stayed congested.
Wow, wow. Yes. And you haven't been since?
No, not really, no. I can't really say that. Yeah. I rarely catch a cold.
Yeah. Like every, once a year, once every few years?
I might get a cold maybe once every 2 or 3 years.
And is it minor or pretty heavy cold? Or?
No, minor.
Real minor, yeah. Same here, man. It's pretty wild. I used to get them twice a year, every year. So any other changes that were notable that might be worth mentioning?
Then I went through what you might call an epiphany, a transformative way of thinking and feeling on an acutely sensitive plane. I would say it's acutely sensitive. I'm so connected now with the universe, and each year it gets deeper and stronger.
Wow. Now, what does that mean? Like, how do you describe that?
It's, I guess you could say it's somewhat spiritual, you know? You just feel connected to all living things. And of course, veganism is very closely connected to the concept of ahimsa, which means non-harm. So I think of non-harm in so many different ways now. Non-harm to our water, non-harm to the trees, the plants, the fruits, non-harm to the earth. And then we can move up into the sentient beings that have been denigrated, non-harm to them. So non-harm is splintered into so many different directions. Mm-hmm. So it forces us, when we follow the philosophy of non-harm or ahimsa, it forces us to respect life as life. It's not just an animal, after all. These are individuals. Yeah. But humans don't think of animals as individuals because we've been programmed, first, that we need them to eat. Mm-hmm. That is the reason why they're here. And secondly, that they're to serve us for whatever purpose humans choose to use them for. But you're disrespecting their right to life. You cut off their biography. You interfere with their lives. There's more in common we have with the animals than what we assume we have. I mean, if you take just the basic needs of humans, animals have the same thing. They need food, they need water, they need air, shelter, love, affection. They have families. They involve themselves in work, recreation. They have a purpose. Their purpose is more instinctual, and in some ways they're far more intelligent than humans. We need them, especially if you take, for example, the honeybee. If you destroy them, and it looks like some areas of the world, from some organizations, some corporations, it's as if they're trying to destroy the honeybee. Now, if you do that, 75%, I'm told, of all food on the planet will be wiped out. So if you think there's mass starvation now, you haven't seen anything yet. Humans have to get it in their heads and in their minds and in their hearts. We share this planet with the so-called lower beings. And we have to get it together. Or it could mean the extension of humanity.
Could you be with somebody who isn't vegan?
Well, I am. My wife isn't vegan at all. Out of 4 children, I have one that's a vegan. I'm now told that one of my nephews, him and his wife and his children are vegan.
Is it because of you?
I think I may have been a bit of influence, yes.
So, do you have any quotes you want to share?
Chief Seattle, after the Europeans came and annihilated the so-called Indians, the Aboriginal indigenous people of this land we call America, told one of the generals of a particular army, it might have been a general, he said, listen, you beat us fair and square, you jacked us up. All we ask is that you respect nature. Chief Seattle, he's the Indian chief. I'm not sure what nation he represented, but they named the city of Seattle after him. The original people on this land always respected everything in nature. respected the lakes, the streams, the air we breathe, the earth, you name it. They did things with care and with respect. And they understood the connection of life. He further said that the earth does not belong to humans, humans belong to the earth. Very powerful statements to live by.
What kind of food do you like to eat?
Stir fries. I love garlic and onions. I put it in everything but ice cream and cookies. Yes, I love pastas. I have to be sure that they're not made with eggs. And I'm pleased to know that on the market today, it's not just wheat pasta. Pasta's made from so many different varieties of plants. There's a number of bean pastas. There's pastas made from sweet potato. I had a sweet potato pasta the other day with a little sesame seed oil a friend of mine made. Delicious, man. Oh my God, yes.
What about breakfast?
I like fruits, cereal, oatmeal's cool. I can take some oatmeal, soak it overnight in some water, and then just add fruit and cinnamon in the morning. I could do that too. Yeah. I like to use my blender a lot. I make this really cool, I call it figgy pudding.
Figgy.
So the black mission figs with some warm water, blend it up. I'll add some avocado, some sesame and sunflower seeds, maybe a little agave syrup, and some frozen bananas. Oh my God, it's delicious. Yes. You can put that on toast or you can just eat it like a pudding. Veganism is very easy. The sky's the limit. You never run out of stuff, really you don't. And now there's, because we're in the computer age, you can Google so many recipes. Most of your supermarkets have at least a section for vegans to utilize to shop. It's a beautiful thing, man. Yeah. My only regret is, and I've been a vegan a long time, my only regret is that I didn't do it much sooner.
Yeah. I used to ask people that question. Why didn't you do it sooner?
Well, I had believe it or not, why I was a pescatarian for so long, I was psychologically addicted to seafood. I know that might sound strange. I loved lobster, and shrimp. Of course, I couldn't do that today. Wouldn't dream of it. So it took me a long time to transition.
How can people find out more about you online at all or anything like that?
I have there's some old clips that may still be online. American Vegan Society garden parties, 2015, 16, 17, all the way up to the present date. Yeah. So you may see clips of me with that. And I share some of my poetry.
Do you have any social media outlets or anything like that?
No, not really.
You don't do that? Mm-mm. That's gonna help you live longer right there for sure.
Oh yeah, it might.
Now, let's make sure we plug where we're at properly.
We're at the headquarters of the American Vegan Society, which started in 1960. So every year they have this event. There's 2 guest speakers. For the past, I would say, 8 years, I have emceed the event. We're out here in the countryside. There's a lot of picnic benches. It's a buffet style type luncheon that starts at 12 noon, ends around 2. There's a band in the background. Play. Yes. So they'll play for a couple hours. Then at 2 o'clock, I take the mic, I introduce myself, and I might share some of my poetry. I'll invite one at a time the 2 guest speakers, and they'll give their talks.
It sounds like you've been a big part of the movement.
One way or another.
No better place to be a part of it than here, where we are right now. Any last minute encouraging words you want to throw out there?
Well, I think people need to realize that if you want to be a vegan, it's a lot easier than when I started. There's so many things in the supermarkets these days. There's a bunch of vegan restaurants. There's tons of information, tons online. There are social media outlets that you can connect with. Vegans will always encourage and help you along any way they can. So that would be my advice to them.
Why do you think some people quit?
They never find the nucleus, that passion. You know, they see it only as, say, a trendy challenge. But if you have a gut-wrenching conviction, there's no way I could see that you would quit. You know, it's a lifestyle change that not only impacts the individual, but it impacts communities and ultimately the world. So if they see the bigger picture, I don't think they'll quit at all.
Yeah, no doubt. Mm-hmm. What have you found to be the most effective way to influencing others?
Well, just by being yourself, being the example. People will ask questions. I don't think you can badger people or harass them in any way, because that's just going to shy them away. It's going to run them away. But just by being the example, I don't go around announcing I'm vegan, but if it comes up, I explain to them why. And I think I have some pretty compelling arguments to present.
Well, I'm excited to check out your poetry. We'll be getting going here in the next 20, 30 minutes, so I probably should wrap this up, but maybe I can include a snippet of your poetry at the end of this.
All right, cool.
All right, man. Hey, Big Fist 5, much vegan love to you, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Don't forget your tether.
I've written a poem, I think, that may tie in with her talk. It's entitled, Yesterday I Couldn't, Today I Can, because some people feel they can't be vegan. From time to time, people tell me, hey, I could never be vegan. Well, if you say that you can or you say that you can't, both statements are correct. So I wrote this poem, Yesterday I Couldn't, Today I Can. Yesterday I couldn't, today I can. Yesterday I walked, today I ran. Yesterday was someone else's plan. And now I'm grown, I'm a full-grown man. Yesterday was winter cold, today has summer heat. Yesterday was scarce of food, today gives lots to eat. Yesterday is dead and gone, today is here and now. Problems will present themselves, solutions will come somehow. And that's why she is here, that's why a lot of vegans are here, to bring about solving the most important problems on this planet, because we all share this world together. But I just want to read a poem that I wrote that may tie in with his talk. It's entitled, Won't Eat a Rotten Apple. Won't eat a rotten apple, but you'll eat a dead fish. Discard a black banana, but body parts you'll call a dish. Smother with plant-based gravy, call it delicious. Dead and processed ain't exactly nutritious. Won't kiss a chicken on his head, but eat some chicken parts. And strange examples of delicacy would be brain or tongue or heart. We find it paradoxical. You think eagle eggs bizarre. For one of the weirdest dishes for sure is the eating of caviar.